Welcome, everyone. Today, we're talking about something we all face no matter who we are: criticism. Yeah, we all get it, whether it's from family, friends, or strangers online. And let's be real, it doesn't always feel great, right? But guess what? Criticism doesn't have to bring you down. In fact, you can use it to build yourself up. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll learn how to handle criticism like a pro without letting it mess with your head. Why people criticize. So, why do people criticize? Let's break it down. Sometimes, criticism comes from a good place, like your friends or family who just want to help you improve. Other times, not so much. Some people criticize because they're dealing with their own issues. Maybe they're insecure, maybe they're jealous, or maybe they just like to tear others down because it makes them feel better. It's super important to know where the criticism is coming from. When you realize that some of it might be more about them than it is about you, it becomes a lot easier to not take it personally. Separate the helpful from the hurtful, okay? So now we know why people criticize, but how do we deal with it? The first step is to separate the helpful criticism from the hurtful kind. Helpful criticism is what's going to make you better. It's usually specific and comes from someone who wants to see you succeed. On the other hand, hurtful criticism is vague, mean, and doesn't give you anything to work on. Here's a tip. When someone gives you feedback, ask yourself, is this person trying to help me grow, or are they just being negative? If it's helpful, take it in and learn from it. If it's hurtful, let it roll off your back like water. Respond. Don't react now. Let's talk about how to respond to criticism. Notice I said respond, not react. Reacting is that knee-jerk thing we do when we feel attacked. But responding is more thoughtful. You give yourself time to process what was said, and then you can decide how to handle it. If it's constructive, thank the person. They took the time to give you feedback that could help you. But if it's destructive, there's no need to snap back or defend yourself. You can simply say, "Thank you for your opinion," and move on. Trust me, that response is way more powerful than getting into a heated argument. Don't let it define you. One of the biggest mistakes we make is letting criticism define us. Just because someone says something negative about you doesn't make it true. You are not your mistakes or flaws. Remember, no one is perfect, not even those who criticize you. Don't give others the power to shape how you see yourself. Their words are just opinions, not facts. What really matters is how you see yourself. When you know your worth, criticism stings a lot less. Build thick skin. Let's talk about building thick skin. Not so thick that you ignore all feedback, but thick enough that negative comments don't get to you. The more you expose yourself to criticism, the more you realize that it's not the end of the world. It's part of life. Here's a little exercise. The next time someone criticizes you, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this really worth stressing over? Most of the time, it's not. Criticism is just noise, and you have the power to turn the volume down. Self-reflection is key now. I'm not saying we should ignore all criticism. Sometimes, even the harshest feedback can teach us something valuable. So, it's important to reflect. After getting criticized, ask yourself a few questions. Is there any truth in what they said? Can I use this to improve? What can I learn from this? By reflecting on the criticism, you take control. You're not just a victim of other people's opinions. You're actively growing from them. Surround yourself with positivity. Finally, one of the best ways to deal with criticism is to surround yourself with people who lift you up. When you have a strong support system, criticism doesn't hit as hard because you know you've got people in your corner. They remind you of your worth, and that gives you the strength to brush off negativity. Find those friends, family members, or mentors who encourage you to be your best. When you focus on the positive voices in your life, the negative ones get a lot quieter. Facing criticism can be challenging, but how you react to it can make all the difference. One of the key ways to handle criticism is by maintaining emotional control. It's natural to feel defensive or hurt when someone points out your flaws, but it's important to take a step back and breathe before responding. Emotions can cloud your judgment and lead to impulsive reactions, which may escalate the situation. Instead, try to listen calmly and assess the validity of the criticism. Ask yourself if there is any truth to it, and if so, consider how you can use the feedback to grow. Lastly, facing criticism with a growth mindset can turn a potentially negative experience into a positive one. Instead of seeing criticism as an attack, view it as a chance to learn and evolve. Every piece of feedback, whether constructive or harsh, offers insight into how others perceive you or your work. Use this information to better yourself, knowing that personal and professional growth often comes from pushing through discomfort. Over time, you'll build resilience, and criticism will feel less like a personal affront and more like a tool for self-improvement. Not all criticism is constructive, and some might come from people who don't have your best interests at heart. In these cases, it's important to distinguish between helpful feedback and toxic comments. If the person criticizing you has a track record of negativity or is simply trying to bring you down, it's best to let their words roll off your back. On the other hand, if the feedback comes from someone you respect or trust, take it as an opportunity to improve. Learn to filter out the noise and focus on what can help you grow. Another crucial way to face criticism is by practicing self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when receiving negative feedback, but being overly self-critical can lead to low self-esteem and self-doubt. Instead, remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and that no one is perfect. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Remember, criticism is something we all deal with, but it doesn't have to bring you down. Learn from it, let go of the negativity, and most importantly, keep being you. You are stronger than any criticism thrown your way. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more motivation.
See you next time.